Hey innovators! Today we have a really cool and exciting project. A project that explores a chemical property that's really important called hydrophobicity. That's when a molecule repels water, much like my umbrella. Now we're going to explore that by creating our own mini lava lamps. Groovy, man. So let's grab our materials and let's get to work. All right, so let's grab our materials. The first thing you're going to need are 2 glass containers, preferably ones with lids that you can secure on. You'll need some oil. I'm using some canola oil. And you're also going to need some food coloring. You can use powdered food coloring or liquid food coloring. You'll need a oral syringe, or you can just use a spoon, a hot glue gun, and some water. Last but not least, you'll need some cups to mix things in. All right, innovators, so now that we have all of our materials, let's get to work. The first thing that we're going to do is fill our little container, with a lid of course, with some oil. So let's get started. All right, so the first step in the process is taking our glass container. Like I said, make sure you find something that has lid. Now it doesn't have to be glass. You can also work with a plastic container if that is something that you have available at home. You're going to need your oil. Now you can experiment with different types of oil. Again, I'm using some vegetable oil, and you are slowly going to pour it into your container. There we go. You probably want to fill it up about 2/3. Leave a little space at the top. All right, looks good. Why don't we take a closer look? Okay, that looks about right. I left a little room right at the top. Okay. Yep. Looks good. Now that you've filled your container up with oil, it's time to choose your food coloring. We're going to use food coloring and water in order to create the lava inside of our lava lamp. We're going to create a quick mixture of about 10 drops of food coloring and a little bit of water. One thing to be mindful of: when choosing the color, make sure that you remember that it might change depending on the color of oil that you used. My oil is a little off yellow, right, like a light yellow, so it's obviously going to change the color of the food coloring that goes inside of it. So just keep that in mind. If you don't have food coloring, you can also experiment by just putting in some water inside of your lava lamp and see how that turns out. All right, let's get to work. All right, so now it's time to mix a little bit of water with the food coloring of your choice. So I'm taking a cup, and I'm going to go with this nice magenta. I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to add about 10 drops of food coloring into my cup. There we go. A few more. I want to make sure that the color is strong. I got my food coloring in the cup. Make sure you put the lid back on the food coloring. All right, and now we can mix a little bit of water. Now you don't want to add too much water because you want the food coloring to stay strong. You want that color to be consistent. All right, that looks pretty good. Give it a little mix. Okay. So, next we're either going to take a spoon or an oral syringe if you have one available, and we are going to fill it up with the food coloring and water mixture. You want to make sure you have a good amount. I'm going to fill up my oral syringe all the way to the top. Perfect. Okay, so now we get to add our food coloring and water mixture to our lava lamp. So, let's get some stuff out of the way. And let's grab our lava lamp. We'll open that up, like so. Perfect. And now we're ready. Take your spoon or oral syringe, and you're going to gently start to drop the food coloring and water mixture. And voila! Now look at that. If you notice, the water and food coloring do not mix with the oil, creating this incredible lava lamp quality. Pretty impressive, huh? Now that looks cool. All right, now that we've added our food coloring, we're going to seal up our container and take the proper steps in order to make sure that the oil does not leak out. So, let's take our lid and we're going to apply some hot glue around the edges. There we go. We want that hot glue to cool down when the lid is put back on, sealing it and not allowing any of the oil to leak out. So after applying the hot glue, you want to quickly put the lid back on and seal it. Make sure it's nice and tight, and then give it a few minutes for the hot glue to cool down and bond the lid to the container. All right, let's give it a test. Nice, no leaks so far. It's looking good. But we're going to take an extra step to make sure that it's sealed. Now, to be on the safe side, we're going to take the hot glue gun and we are going to apply hot glue right along the seam of the lid and container. This is going to make sure that no oil leaks out of your container. So I'm quickly applying a little bit of hot glue all the way around and making sure that that seam is nice and sealed. Looks good. All right. That oil isn't going anywhere. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in our lava lamp. In chemistry, Hydrophobicity is the physical property of a molecule that seemingly repels from water. What's actually happening is that oil molecules are attracted to other oil molecules, so they stick together. The same goes for water molecules, so they just don't mix. Innovators, we are done with today's project, and what a fun one. We use simple stuff from home to explore a really important chemical principle. So, we created some awesome and groovy lava lamps. Continue to explore and experiment at home. Use different oils, try different colors to see what results you get. You can also try different bottles and different containers to see what kind of cool lava lamps you can create. So remember to always think creatively and think critically. Thanks for watching the video, and check out the rest of them. See you later.